This is I placed it around a 1980 Montgomery Ward's riding lawnmower. Whenever I first got it, it was yellow frame, yellow fenders, and foot pans. You can see that right there and on the frame there. I was going to make it into a race mower whenever I first got it. Guy had the plow, deck, and the mower itself for $50. This thing is a heavy tractor, not including the plow or the deck. I had an S10. I was about an hour away from home. The truck was sitting like this because everything was in the bed of it. It was a fun ride home. But whenever I first got it, I thought it was a Cub Cadet, so I started looking it up, found out it was Montgomery Ward's, and started looking things up on YouTube because I couldn't find anything online. I only found a few things saying like what they were, not really like what they were, but just like little brief statements of them and stuff like that. So I started going on YouTube, try to figure things out, and I couldn't really find much on YouTube. For one, everything I found was belt driven. This is a shaft going to a gearbox to a belt, and everything else had a single cylinder in it. I only found one other one, I believe, on YouTube that was a twin, but it was a different twin. It was a newer twin. This is an opposed twin. Carburetor on top, exhaust out the top too, and I have no clue. I still have no clue what kind of engine this is. The panel's over there, and I believe it's a Briggs, actually. I'll go look. I forget. It's been a while since I looked at this thing. It is a Briggs. It's an old Briggs 16 horsepower opposed twin. But I got it. Had the deck for it. I sold the deck because I just use it to plow now. And I still can't find anything with a twin like this. Like I said, all the other ones have a newer twin on them, or a V-twin or something. But the starter went on it while I was driving around one day, and it stalled on me just because of the stupid thing I was doing with it. It just bogged too low and it shut off. And that was my fault. I tried to start it back up. It just ticked, so I had to drag it up, let it sit for a little bit, thought it would cool down. It cranked twice, just whoop, whoop, and it just started ticking. So that's why I think it's the starter. But for that, you have to rip the engine out, drop the front end, and there's an oil pan sitting in there that you also have to be careful of and rip apart too. And I honestly don't have time to do that because it's over a 4-hour thing or something like that. Because I talked to a shop and they want $400 to do it, and I don't have that money, and I have other projects going on. So now it's been sitting for about a year now, and I really want to get it back together. And once I'm done with my truck down there, I'll probably actually put $400 into it and get it running again, because this thing was a beast of a tractor. It was great. But I was going to make it a race mower. This whole setup back here is not really good for race mower. If it was like the ones I see all the time, the single cylinders, belt driven tractors, it would work. But this isn't belt driven, it's shaft, which is really hard to kind of make into a race mower. But I don't find much of these. I've been looking for parts. I found one, and I'm actually really tempted to go get it again, but I just don't have time. I only have time on the weekends. I work nights and I sleep during the day every other day, so I don't get up till 12. I go to work at 2, get off at 12. No, I go to work at 4, get off at 12. There we go. As you can see, don't get a lot of sleep, and my mind is just so that's why videos are weird and funky and fun stuff, because I only get to do things on the weekends. And that's why it's either late at night or really weird from me talking. Yeah, just gonna make it a little awkward night right now and be silent. So, this is my Montgomery Wards. 1980, I believe I put it at. Opposed twin. I'll probably rip the engine off, me, Doug, and Jake, and we'll get going on it. But I'll record it also. If anyone else has an engine like this, they'll see how it's done. And that's another reason why I looked it up. A few years after I bought it, the starter went, and I tried looking it up, and I still can't find anything years after. I find tractors like this body style, but it's a single cylinder belt driven, so it doesn't help me at all. And there's one like this somewhere, and I've seen it, and it has the exact same engine. It's up in 45 minutes out, and I think he got rid of it. He had it up for $100, then he dropped it down to $50 because he wanted rid of it. He was going to derby it, and so he has things welded onto it. So that's why I hesitated on it, but I'm really regretting that now. But as now, it just sits in the shed until we work on it, and I said I will record it and show how it goes on, and hopefully help someone else with a opposed twin like this, because I honestly still have no clue what goes on with this tractor. I can't find much information on it. All I know is it's a Montgomery Wards around the 1980s. Actually, here's the model serial number and all that. And they're Gilsons, actually. That's what I keep forgetting to mention. They're Montgomery Wards Gilsons. It has Gilson written on the hood. I repainted it from yellow to orange. And so I type in Montgomery Wards, old ones come up, like the small fenders and the little foot pegs, like 1970s, come up. And whenever I type in Gilson, these ones come up, but they're only single cylinders or newer twin engines, V-twins. This is an opposed twin, and that's why I'm making the video here. So if you guys know anything about these or have one or anything, let me know. I may be interested, depending on how far away you are. But I might sell this one too, actually, because it just sits. I really hate to see it go, and I really hate to see it sit and rust. And that's why I'm going to sell it if I do sell it. Because $400 for it, and it's a little much at this time. And me and Jake and Doug probably will rip it apart later this summer, after derbies. Well, before derbies begin, after winter breaks. So around springtime and beginning of summer, we'll rip it apart, we'll video record it and everything. And that's it.